So we have a deck profile here today from first place Carlisle Regionals, and I was going to do this live but had to leave and stuff. So Jordan's here with me and he's going to tell you about his deck. So yeah, go ahead.
So I played what I think is probably just a pretty standard Magician list. There's nothing spectacularly special about it. This is weird. I've never done a deck profile like this before, but I guess I'll just run through the cards anyway.
Pretend you're holding the cards like as you see them.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. So I played two Curtain Raiser.
Two Curtain Raisers.
Yeah. It clashes with Dark Worm, so like it clashes with like the Shrine Foolish. So there's like a little bit of like non-synergy there, but it is just a really good like Photon Thrasher like pendulum monster to make Electrum P Pendulum summon. It's also 2200, like if you just special summon it from your scale, which beats over Inspect Border and Tornado Dragon. Like it forces Tornado Dragon to pop it, or if you don't want them to pop it, you can normal summon it and it attacks over Tornado Dragon. It's just really good in that way. But I didn't want to clog too much with it because it is a once per duel thing and it only works when you have no monsters, so it clashes with some stuff. 3 Astro, obviously, because that card's just crazy. 3 Black Fang cards, also just insane. 3 Chrono, that's also just another like, Cyber Dragon. That's just how you get... Yeah, it just turbos into Electrum. Harmonizing is the best Magician card in the entire deck. You play 3 of that card. I played 2 Oath, which is probably strange, considering if you look at my extra deck, I didn't play Naruto. Because I figured I think Naruto's shit, honestly.
Whoa.
I just don't think it's a very good card. So I just decided to not play it, but the 2 Oath actually came up because I'm playing the Starving Venom Turbo version of the deck. So like it involves like I would often have to pop it with Astrograph Sorcerer, no, pop it with Electrum and search a second with Astrograph, so that's why I played 2 of that. But it could easily come down to 1 if that situation doesn't come up enough.
What's
but
the Starving Venom thing?
Starving Venom's the fusion monster in my extra deck that isn't Vortex. He's summoned by using 2 Dark Pendulum monsters. So if you summon... Basically, he lets you summon Electromite about 5 times in the one turn. But yeah, technically 5 times in the one turn, because like you summon the first Electromite, and then you summon like 2 Starving Venom, and it copies Electromite. It's basically extra copies of Electromite. So it triggers... You can trigger Astrograph like 5 times in the one turn. So like a lot of the time you end up with no scales, so you're not losing to anyone that's still playing Wavering Eyes. You've searched new scales for next turn because you've basically popped both your scales and then searched a copy of both your scales with more Astrographs. So you like look through Astrographs to make 2 Starving Venom, and then I'm playing number 38, Hope Harbinger, the rank 8. So it's just it's another spell negate basically. I think that's better than Naruto in all honesty. Yeah. Because it gains you advantage while doing so. I just don't think Naruto is very good. Then played 3 Purple Poison. That card's absolutely mental. It wins the Draco matchup like single-handedly. Like if they activate Monarch's Erupt, you just like set Purple Poison, and Draco has like no out to Purple Poison without destroying it, except like 1 Stormforth. So it outs every Floodgate against Draco. It's just a really good card. The Stargazer to special off of the Astrograph, just as another Photon Thrasher. 3 Dark Worm, because it is the best normal summon pendulum monster you can possibly have. So if you draw a Photon Thrasher, you want to have a Dark Worm in your hand because it's a +1 normal summon. Just +1 on normal summon, lets you make Electromite P Pendulum. You want to have it in most hands, to be honest. And then I'm playing the 2 Gate 0. You need 2 for a lot of the combos because a lot of the combos involve using Electromite to pop Gate 0 in your scale to add Astrograph. Then Astrograph adds the 2nd Gate 0, which you then scale, and then Pendulum summon the other Gate 0, and you make the Absolute and then the Vortex. That's how that combo goes down. So you need 2 for that minimum. Time Gazer, just another something that Chronograph can summon from deck, just the Garnet basically. And then the triple Wisdom Eye for the Magician engine. The Wisdom Eyes sort of clash with the Supreme Kings a little bit. Like it doesn't synergize very well with Gate 0, but it's just still a really, really good card. So I think the triple Wisdom Eye is needed. Spells, I played 3 Allure. I wanted a lot of like consistency, and I'm pleased to say that worked. I never bricked once with this deck. Just because you have so much draw power and so much search power with this deck, and the Allures were just really good at that. Just lets you get to your combo pieces like really easily. And then I played one Shrine and one Foolish, because so there's only one target in the entire deck basically, and if you ever open multiples, it's just completely, you never want multiples of anything in a pendulum hand. And like the power of the card doesn't really outweigh the risk of wanting to draw multiples. So just like one Shrine, one Foolish for the 3 targets, or 1 target more like. I thought it was the best. One Shrine, one Foolish instead of 2 Shrine, because like Foolish can be used to send like dark spellcasters to trigger Black Fang on your first turn if you want. And then 3 Duelist Alliance, because it searches a lot of powerful cards. So like Pendulum Call, the Star Graph, and the Time Graph. I think they're pretty much the only targets, but they are the really powerful targets. Pendulum Call I use quite a lot with Duelist Alliance, because it helps you fix your bad hands when you do draw like multiples. So if I drew 2 Duelist Alliance, you get a Pendulum Call, pitch the other Duelist Alliance. If you draw like 2 Foolishes, again, like anything that clogs your hand, Pendulum Call allows you to fix by like turning it into 2 Pendulum monsters. It's just really good. Star Pendulum Graph, it's just a staple in Magicians, to be honest. And then the Time Pendulum Graph, I didn't search that this much in all honesty, because most of the time I wanted Star to further my combo. But time's really important for when you get debarriered and you need to like go into a grind game. So I just played that anyway. So yeah, the main deck's 40. If I want to go side deck, I decided the triple Ash for just like, so mainly for the grass deck, the 60 card Lightsworn deck, but also just for like any decks that I'm going to go second against that I'm actually scared of. So that's not the mirror. I'm not saying Ash for that. Just like any like big combo decks that I think I need to stop their combo to be able to win. A triple Cosmic for the Floodgate deck, so anything that would side anti-spell against me, this would go in immediately. And triple Chalice, the Chalice is where I was testing it for the mirror. So what the mirror normally does is it ends with like Vortex or Naruto or Titanic Galaxy. So Chalice just allows you to push through whatever play you want to resolve instead of having to like try and bait what you want them to do. So Chalice was just really good at that. So like whatever play you want to go through, you just Chalice the Vortex on that. It's just really good at that situation. Against Lightsworn, it's also quite decent as well because it hits Snow, which can be really impactful. And against Dino, it hits Ultimate Conductor, which is also just really good. And the triple Debarrier because it's an auto win in the mirror match whenever you go first. And then the triple evenly matched. That is because of Draco mainly. Like evenly matched isn't good against the like Magician Mirror anymore, because without hand traps they're always ending on a negate. The deck's so consistent that you're always going to have Vortex up, or like in the standard build you're going to have Naruto as well. You're going to either have Vortex or Naruto, so evenly matched is just never going to resolve, and you're wasting your battle phase just to bait a negate. So it's just really not good against Magician anymore. But it's there for like it's really good against that Draco deck because it puts its whole hand onto the board, and just all the other generic Floodgate decks evenly matched is just really good against. The Vortex with the Absolute for the combo. So what you do is you make Absolute using Astrograph and Supreme Gate 0. You link the Astrograph, you link the Absolute and the Electromite you have on your field into Zephyr Metaltron. We're playing Zephyr Metaltron because it has 3 downward pointing arrows, which can be quite relevant just for having 3 monsters summoned from your extra deck. Its effect is also quite good and no one ever reads it. So it comes up quite a lot if they kill one of the cards it's pointing to. Like, so if they kill the Vortex, you then get to add any Pendulum monster from your graveyard or extra deck to your hand, which is just really good. We played, like I said, we're playing the 2 Starving Venom. That's because basically I was going through about 4 Electrums a game because I would always summon both my Electromites, and then most games I would summon both Starving Venoms. So I would be using 4 Electromites every game minimum. And Starving Venom is just insane in every matchup because I'll give you an example. Against Dino today, I copied Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, booked his whole board, and killed 5 monsters with it. Against like Trickstar, you can copy Lilybell, and it's a 2800 Nightmare Shark. Against Metalfoe, you can copy Mithrilium and shuffle back both your Electromites to bounce one of their cards. The best card in every matchup, this card can become. It's an all-round amazing card. It just copies whatever you need it to do. Ultimate Conductor has been my favourite so far. Personally, it's just a complete board wipe.
Does it become Dante?
Yeah, it can do, but you don't have Xyz materials, bro.
Oh,
so
shit.
you can't activate that effect. Yeah.
All right. Did you see any questions that popped out in the chat? Nothing really major. Like, why no desires? I feel should be quite obvious.
The desires can really make your astrographs not able to resolve, which you really need for most of your combos.
Yeah. Thoughts on Allure? I suppose it was fine. You didn't really.
I thought Allure was fine. Yeah, it still needs more testing for me to be able to tell if it's optimal, but I think it was good today.
Oh yeah, why no mythical beasts?
The mythical beasts, I just think for this specific build, they're not dark, so they don't contribute to the. Well, one of them, Jackal's dark, but that Jackal's dark. Cerberus isn't.
Oh.
Jackal's the one of, and Cerberus is light, so it doesn't contribute to the Starving Venom plays. Cerberus is level 8, so you can't pendulum summon that, so that also doesn't contribute to the Starving Venom plays. I just didn't think it was optimal enough, because like thing with like Cerberus Jackal is that you can use Cerberus, get Jackal, Jackal brings out Cerberus, then you can pendulum Jackal and use Jackal for Naruto. And like I said, I don't think Naruto is very good, so I'm not looking to do that. So that's why I didn't play the Mythical Beast engine.
Okay. Do you think it's the best deck? By far, I think people were saying that it's like 9 Pendulum Magician at Atlanta currently as we speak at top tables, and like 2 to 3 of like other decks. So yeah, do you think it's like the best deck?
It's one of the most powerful decks, yeah, but again, it is, as Pendulum has an inherent weakness to a lot of things, such as Anti-Spell Fragrance, such as Dimensional Barrier, so it is always going to struggle with other decks. I'm not sure you can definitively say it is the best deck by a mile, because just how many issues the deck does have in the meta.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that's long enough, so thanks everyone for watching. If you have any other questions, then leave them in the comment section down below. Comment, like, subscribe. This has been Magician. See you next time.